Welcome to the new Suzuki Baleno. No, it's not a Swift replacement. In fact, it's a little bit larger than a Swift, so you can think of it as a Ciaz hatch almost. It's the first Indian-produced Suzuki that has made the grade to be exported to Japan, so it says a little something about the quality and construction of this vehicle. It's also made headlines because of its new 1-litre 3-cylinder turbocharged motor. But of course, South Africa's not getting it. No, instead we're going to get a 1.4-litre 4-cylinder naturally aspirated motor. But it's a motor that we know well. It's been used in the Ciaz and in the Swift. Parts are readily available, and it's a robust motor. It makes 68 kilowatts, 130 newton meters of torque. So it's not going to win any races, but it's not going to hurt your pocket in terms of fuel consumption either. It's pretty frugal. Suzuki quotes 5.1 litres per 100 on the combined cycle, and I'd hazard a guess that you could even get it lower than that, because Suzuki are usually pretty accurate with their numbers. Now, the Baleno is offered in two different trim levels. You get the GL spec, and then you get the GLX. We're driving the GLX here. And this one now has black headlight surrounds, fog lamps, a different set of wheels, and of course, a couple of creature comforts inside. The GL is only offered with a 5-speed manual, whereas the GLX is offered with either a 5-speed manual or a 4-speed automatic. It's not a fancy dual-clutch system, it's a traditional torque converter 4-speed automatic. Best to go wrong, I guess. The Baleno is not particularly difficult on the eye. It's not going to win a beauty pageant, but it's not difficult to look at either. The back end's maybe not the most inspired, but the front end looks like the Ciaz, and I quite like that. And then you need to see it with the optional aero pack. Well, I say optional, Suzuki hasn't really confirmed whether it is going to be available or not, so I think public demand is going to justify that. The interior of the Baleno is actually quite a nice place to be. It's very typical Suzuki in its layout, but it's quite nicely equipped. So we've got digital climate control here, we've got a touch double-din entertainment unit, and this can connect to your phone, but you do need a couple of apps to sort of just make them communicate, whether it be Apple or Android. It's connected through the bottom here, and the plug is, well, a little tricky to access, but not the end of the world. You've got a multi-function steering wheel, and it's wrapped in sort of leather touch. It's got your audio controls, your Bluetooth controls, and of course your cruise control as well. You've got a nice little LCD display in the center between the two blue stylized gauges, and of course the blue lighting, which is quite nice. And it's going to give you a little bit of information with regards to your fuel consumption and the sort of power that you're using, believe it or not. As a whole, very, very nice and surprisingly spacious in here. This is actually quite sizable inside. This new Baleno is based on a new platform which is lighter and more rigid. Now, that lightweight means that it handles beautifully and it performs just as well. It doesn't feel too light though, it still feels nice and planted on the road. And they say that the next Swift is going to be using this very same platform. So, good things are coming Suzuki's way. The Suzuki Baleno starts at 200,000 Rand for the GL model. And that's not bad value for money if you consider the spec level and the way that it drives. If you want a GLX, the 5-speed manual is going to cost you 230, with a 4-speed auto costing you 245. Now, of course, all of these are going to come with a 3-year 100,000 kilometer warranty and a 4-year 60,000 kilometer service plan. Not bad. Now, they have said that we're not going to be getting the diesel, but they haven't ruled out that little turbo. I guess we're just going to have to wait and see.